Hi everyone! On tonight's menu, we've got shrimp empanadas. So let's go ahead and get started, honey. We can't wait for this one. You want to put some chiles guajillos and bay leaves to boil. That's going to be for your masa. And for your shrimp, you're going to need tomatoes and onion. Put those to boil at the same time. That way, you get it out of the way. They can cool down by the time they have to go in the blender. So what we're going to blend first is our salsa for the masa. So we're going to throw in our chile guajillos with the bay leaves, and we're also going to add a few more goodies to this sauce. This is going to give your masa for the empanadas flavor. It's kind of like a little mix that I made between empanadas and enchiladas, because this is how I make my enchilada sauce. And it's just so good, guys. So I went ahead and added, I want to say about a quarter of the water that boiled with the chiles, and now I'm adding a quarter of a yellow onion. That one did not boil, it's raw onion. And we are also going to add some seasoning, of course, some oregano. You need that for sure. And I just eyeballed it, guys. This is usually what I do. I want to say it was maybe about maybe half a tablespoon. Some caldo de pollo. Yes, honey, cannot be missing some salt in your food. And I love using caldo de pollo for culito de pollo. Caldo de pollo, what am I talking about? Culito de pollo to season. I prefer that over salt, but you could use salt if you'd like. And we're going to blend that baby up. And I did strain it with the colador, because I didn't want any of the pulp of the salsa in for the masa, especially because these empanadas are being fried, so I didn't want it to have like a burnt flavor. I really just want the juice, the water. I don't want the pulp. And I mean, it's one little extra step, but honestly, it is worth it to take this step. So once you strain this sauce, you're going to put it to the side, and we are going to start frying our shrimp. So I put some oil and some butter. We added some onion. This is about a quarter of an onion. Some tomato. These veggies that you add in is optional. Whatever veggies you want to add, you could add. This is what I had on hand and what sounded good. An orange bell pepper, and I just sliced it into these. You could slice it into smaller pieces for the empanadas. That might be a step that I might do differently next time. One jalapeno, because we don't want it spicy. We fed the kids with this as well. And some minced garlic. You can mince some fresh garlic. I had this on hand, and as you can see, we're running low, so I wanted to use up what we had. And 1 tablespoon of that as well. Oh, I guess we did 2. And your shrimp. Another step that I would do differently next time is also cut up the shrimp into smaller pieces so that it all fits well into the empanada. I added some seasoned salt to season this baby, and I also added some garlic salt. And once again, I just eyeballed it. Once it looks seasoned, it smells seasoned, you're good to go, honestly. That's how I go about my measuring. And I also added some black pepper, honey. Yes, once again, just a little, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4
Mom,
little, shakings.
let's get up.
And you're going to mix that baby up and just throw it into the oil and the butter that's cooking up, and cook that up. While this is cooking up, what you want to do is blend your salsa for the shrimp, and I'll show you what else I added into that, because nope. You guessed it, it wasn't just tomato and onion that went into the blender for that sauce. So let's go ahead, give that a mix, and let it cook. On a low, you don't want to burn or overcook your shrimp either. So now what we're going to do for the sauce that's going to go into the shrimp, I like to call it a little remix between a tinga sauce and a creamy chipotle shrimp sauce. So I went ahead and added 4 tomatoes, the quarter of an onion that we blended, that we boiled with the tomatoes. And oh, there was a little more piece of an onion there. Yes, get it all. Do not waste food, honey. Do not waste it. And I went ahead and I added some garlic. I added 2 teeth of garlic, or 2 cloves of garlic. Yeah, 2 cloves of garlic. And that's the second one right there. And next, what we want to add is, I added cream cheese in here, guys. That is what it's going to give it the creamy texture that you want. You could leave it out and have it dairy free if you like. It's totally optional. You could play with these recipes, which is why I love doing these kind of recipes. You could play with them, make them your own, so that your family will love it just like we love ours. So I want to say this wasn't a brand new pack, but I want to say it was a little bit more than half of that new pack of cream cheese. and you just want to throw her in there. Alright, so you want to add that cream cheese, just pack it in like I said, and this is going to give you that nice creamy texture. When you first blend it, it is going to look a little clumpy. That's only because of the cream cheese mixing with the tomatoes, but once you heat it up and get it nice and warm, it's going to be creamy, believe me. Just got to trust me on that one. And I went ahead and I added a can of chipotles in adobo sauce. Now one of these small cans, with the ratio of the 4 tomatoes and the amount of cream cheese that I added, did not make this spicy at all. It was, a nice mild flavor, so it's friendly for kids, friendly for anybody that doesn't like spice. So you don't have to worry about it being too spicy. If you add it to this ratio, you could add just one if you just want a little bit of the taste. Of course, I went in with my culito de pollo, which is just the chicken bouillon. Went ahead and added about a tablespoon. And then once you get it to a simmer after it's blended, then you can go ahead and see if it needs more salt. See, so it's a little thickums. I just added it to a bowl because my shrimp weren't ready for the sauce quite yet at this point, but if your shrimp are ready, then you can just add it directly into the shrimp mixture and it'll be just fine. You don't have to dirty another bowl. And once you add that all there, you could taste it at this point. If you feel like it needs a little bit more salt, you can go ahead and add some. But like I said, I waited for it to simmer just so that I can get an accurate taste. I didn't want it to be too salty. Remember, you did salt the sauce for the masa. You salted the shrimp. So just don't go too crazy with the salt now, unless you like that. If you like that, then go ahead, go wild. Make the recipe yours.
Look at the view.
And if you hear Zaya in the background, he's with me today. This is why I usually don't record with sound, because I never really have a quiet moment. Mom life 101. This is what it looks like before I add the sauce. Look how yummy. Oh, this was so good. You could even leave it like this if you'd like, but I wanted it saucy. Yes, get them all together, mix it around, marry them. They are so good. Oh my gosh. And now let's add the sauce, of course. See, the shrimp is fully cooked at this point. There's some shrimp that could have used a little bit more cooking, but when simmered with the sauce, it fully cooks and you're ready to go. See what I mean about the texture? That's only because of the tomato and the cream cheese, but once it cools down, once it heats up and simmers for a couple minutes, it turns nice and creamy and delicious. Oh my goodness, my mouth is watering. Now this will boil, this will come to a simmer. While it's simmering, you want to go ahead and start on your masa so that nothing gets cold on you while you are cooking the rest. So that was the salsa without any pulp. And I went ahead and added some maseca. This is, you're going to completely eyeball depending on how many empanadas you want to make. That's how much masa you'll make, pretty much. I went ahead and added some cornstarch just because I wanted a nice little crisp on my empanadas. You could leave it out if you like, but I wanted mine crispy. They came out so delicious, you guys. Look at how the masa looks after. Woohoo! Look at that beauty. Oh my goodness. So good. Yes. This is the consistency that you want because you don't want them dry. So now you're gonna, as if you were making a tortilla, you are going to, use your little contraption here, your tortilla maker, your tortilladora. There you go. I couldn't think for a second. If you don't have one of these, you can use 2 flat plates and just cut up a Ziploc bag and you'll be fine. I went ahead and added some Monterey Jack cheese. You could use mozzarella. Oh, I use mozzarella. I wanted to use Monterey Jack. I didn't have Monterey Jack. That's what it was. But you could use whatever cheese you'd like. You can even use, the Mexican blends that they have. Whatever cheese you want, you could go ahead and add it to it. I made some couple ones with just cheese, just some quesadillas. The kids wanted some with just cheese. And in the next clip here, you'll see me making it with the shrimp filling. You could, seam it, close the seams with the fork, make it your own. You could do a little design on it if you'd like, but this is the gist. You're just gonna fill the tortilla with your filling. You could take out the cheese if you'd like, if you just want the shrimp. Oh yeah. Now you can see here why I would cut down the shrimp into little pieces, just to get more filling in there. But honestly, it worked out perfectly. For some reason, I lost the clip of me frying them, but they just came out so good, you guys. Definitely 10 out of 10 recommend. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be careful when you're frying them. It could be a little dangerous. Jonathan was helping me fry them here. They came out so good. Once you see them, a nice little crispy consistency, then you're good to go. Here's a picture of the outcome. They were so good. We served them with some crema. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.